So, this has been long overdue. Hello everyone, I'm your underwater host Sharky, and today I've come to explain my absence here on this YouTube channel. Now, this is going to be a long video. I actually recorded this video once already and it was 31 minutes, but for whatever reason, my camera was picking up audio in addition to my mic. So it's doubled audio and I can't use this. And that fact right there, I kid you not, actually plays into one of my absences, or one of the reasons for my absence. So, go ahead and get comfortable. You could, I guess, do some laundry or something. I'm not sure if it's going to be as long as it was when I initially recorded it, because I'm just rehashing a lot of the stuff that I said, and I could be a little bit more precise, because now it's my second time saying it. It was, all one take or whatnot. So, I got a couple things I want to talk about. I want to talk about my absence, what's going on with the Gauntlet project, and my long-term goals for this channel. So first things first is my absence. Now, in order to go into my absence, technically some of it does start with Gauntlet Ignition, but it really wasn't exacerbated until Overdrive. And when I say Overdrive, I'm talking about Gauntlet, or not Overdrive, until CTWC of last year. Now, for those of you that are watching this and you guys are in the community and you're a regular viewer of CTWC, then you probably know that you'll see me on a lot of videos, whether it's me interviewing Blue Scooty, me at the end of the videos, you'll hear my voice a lot. You'll see me in a lot of videos. And I've actually edited the majority of the videos over the past year. And this kind of new position that I found myself in, the person that is, controlling majority of the uploads that go onto the YouTube channel and things of that nature, this kind of situation really took away from something that I do. Because I want it to be clear, I do enjoy this. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't have taken up the mantle to edit videos for CTWC. I do enjoy it, but it did take away from something, and that energy that I put towards editing, it went into, or doing stuff for my own content, it went in towards CTWC. Now, this new involvement with CTWC came at a time when maybe, I was potentially going to get started with uploading content again. I was getting some good highlights from my commentary and things of that nature. And then it's like, oh, well, CTWC, likes to have me as an editor. So then they're getting content out on the channel and things of that nature. And I won't go too much into the details, but, I accepted and became the primary content creator on the Classic Tetris channel. And what this ended up doing meant that I'm spending majority of my time in two specific ventures: my Gauntlet project and personal streaming on Twitch, and then CTWC. There is no room for my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, or my own personal YouTube channels, because Gauntlet also suffers from this, and we'll get into that. Now, because of this involvement with CTWC, it has, it's not the root cause of my absence, but it is definitely a contributing factor. But I think the biggest contributing factor, and I'm going to get real serious with you, and I'm sure that some of you that have done content creation before will be able to relate, or definitely a lot of you will be able to empathize with me. But essentially, before 2021, that was when I was at the peak here on my YouTube channel, and I guess you can say my Twitch channel as well. I was at the peak, and I was uploading videos where even just some gameplay video of me is getting 700 to 1,000 views. Match highlights are getting a couple thousand views. Match breakdowns are getting a couple thousand views. I was at a high, and then when Ignition came around, because of how much work I had to do, design the overlays, being the main one that was commentating the matches and things of that nature, because of how much work I had to do, the YouTube channel took more of a back seat, and this led to now inactivity, which, rebuilding up some of that audience that I built up over the past 5 years of me being in a Classic Tetris channel. It was that fear of me seeing the numbers and being like, well, damn, Those are, numbers low numbers that I'm not used to seeing. Friendly reminder to stay hydrated, by the way. Those are the numbers that I'm not used to seeing. And I figured, because of where I was at that point in my life, this would just end up being a negative feedback loop. Create a video, upload it, it doesn't do how it's done in the past, and it's like, why even waste my time? Why even go through, see the numbers, just see the lack of views that I got, where I'm not at, where I wasn't at my glorious high of, getting a couple thousand views a video. Seeing that, and just the prospect of that, I was like, I didn't want to upload, because being in a healthier mental space, not having to deal with the numbers, what I felt was better for me. And that's not to say, I mean, obviously, the numbers isn't why you should do this thing. You should do this thing because you love it. Yeah. Well, the reality is the numbers are there. And when you go from having, good numbers to where, things were a little bit successful, to where now, if I felt like if I uploaded a video, I wouldn't even crack 500 views. And that kind of thing is like, it would be, extremely disheartening. And so this is all to say, that was the mental hurdle that helped with my absence and my perpetuation of that absence. Because here's the thing, not only is that there that aspect, but there is perfection paralysis. So that might be a term that you guys are familiar with, or maybe I made it up, who knows. But the way that I define perfection paralysis is the want to put out something to be absolutely perfect, but as a result, you do nothing because you're trying to plan for it to be as perfect as possible. And this is one of the main problems that I have with that. This is just a problem with me personally, is I want to do things at such a high level, and it is really taken a toll on various aspects of my life. And because of, certain of those situations, has led me to not only not create content here on the YouTube channel, but even when it comes to posting, simple stuff like all the matches that I've done for Gauntlet, the commentary highlights. I've been so obsessed. I was like, okay, my goal for Gauntlet is to have the highest production value event. I want the videos to look this certain way. I want to do these certain animations. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want people to look at it and be like, oh, wow. Oh, damn. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is a great video. Entertained. The production value is insane. I wanted that reaction from people. I wanted my vision that I have for Gauntlet. I wanted it to be manifested in a sense that it is something that can happen, not necessarily at its fullest glory, but it can happen right now. If I personally felt that if I put enough time and figured out how I want to do this, design this, edit it like that style, and do that. And that's all to say that at the end of the day, I couldn't do it. The end of the day, I was never satisfied. The production level that I was trying to reach is something that I know personally that I can do it, but getting the steps to there is like, this is not good enough. If this highlight goes on there, it's one of my best highlights, and it needs to look a certain way. It needs to have this, it needs to have that, it needs to have the right music, it needs to have the right look. Needs to have all these kind of things. And that has led to not only a perfection paralysis of the Gauntlet, anything Gauntlet media related, period, but it's led to the perfection paralysis of my own channel. And this is not just talking about match play. This is talking about other stuff. I had a lot of videos. Listen, Scout, if you watch this, which you might, I do want to apologize for the whole entire Andy video, and you're gonna get an explanation why here shortly. So when Andy got the 8.9 million, I was like, after I watched it, I was like, this is perfect. This is how I make my return to content creation. I'm going to drop a banger of a video. I'm going to go through his world record and really show people that, yes, the 8.9 million is insane, but it can get even crazier. Andy, he scored X amount of Tetrises. The majority of his points came from burned lines. He had a couple Tetrises here that were worth 100,000 points, but really when you look at it, there is so much more scoring potential. That was going to be the storyline in the video. I was going to go into this really high-depth breakdown, throw a lot of mathematics, and really just dive into the stuff that I love. And what ended up happening was after I spent 2 hours going through the math in a car, on a notebook, writing down, all right, this is the score that he had at this level. This is how much a Tetris is worth at this level. This is when he's got a Tetris. This is when he got that. Doing that on my phone, not even on the computer. And after I did all that, it was time to write the script. And I couldn't. Because here's the thing. This is before I got my Elgato teleprompter. When it was like, it was time to write the script. And I was like, well, for something like this, it has to be scripted. I can't memorize everything because of how complex it is, how many numbers and mathematics that are involved. And I was like, you know what? I'll hold off until I get the Elgato teleprompter. Well, I get the Elgato teleprompter, and guess what? The 8.9 million no longer relevant as the world record because Alex T gets 16 million. And then still, it's not that bad because I was like, okay, I can take the angle. Is like Alex T got 16 million without the crash triggers. Andy's, 8.9 million was before crash. This is how much more efficiency that can be achieved at that level. And technically speaking, I can still do a video like that. And it would have to just be framed in a way where it's like former world record. This is what we can expect, blah, 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 blah. But what ended up happening was Alex T just recently got a 10 million before crash game. And this is all to say that there is still, I can still make a video on that. I can still bring both Alex T and Andy's games together. I can do them separately and do some, there's so much content that I can do. But the thing is like when it came to writing the script, I just couldn't. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted this video, this onboard presentation to be great. I want to be able to look at the camera, how I'm looking right now, and convey what I'm talking about with accuracy. I wanted to, be able to break down things. And this is all to say that because of my perfection paralysis and the mental hurdle of it's like, dude, I'm not going to get enough I'm not going to get views that I'm used to seeing in the past. This just led into a negative feedback loop. It's like, oh, I need to upload because I haven't uploaded in a while. Well, if I need to upload, I'm not going to get a lot of views. So I need to make a perfect video. But if I don't make a perfect video, then I'm not going to get a lot of views. And so I need to make sure I do my best to make a perfect video. All right, well, I got to do this. Oh my God, this isn't good enough. I need to do a good video in order so when I come back, it gets a lot of views and I see the numbers that I'm used to seeing and I'm stuck. That is all to say that has been the huge contributing factor to my absence. Now, you guys, if you're on my YouTube channel, you might see me simul-stream my commentary from Gauntlet on YouTube. And yeah, that's great, but it's not like uploading, content like this. Well, definitely not content like this. This is, one take, me just sitting down and explaining things. Because these community posts that I've been putting, I apologize for that. That's been the most egregious thing that I've done. I apologize. I sincerely do. And what else can I say? I just apologize. But it's gotten to the point to where majority of my focus has been on Twitch. Any of my personal play has been on Twitch. The commentary is on Twitch. And even then my Twitch has declined from what it's been in the past. I mean, I've seen, and a lot of that can be explained as like, well, now I'm competing with Fractal, who's streaming more regularly. I'm competing with Andy streaming more regularly. I'm competing with Blue Scooty, who's streaming more regularly. And then I'm competing with Wars, Classic Tetris League, CTM, Friendly, Monday Night Mayhem. So I'm competing with all these other people for viewers. And so, it's understandable why the views have declined. But this is all to say that because of those two things, and then everything, including, my involvement with CTWC, Gauntlet Ascension, which we'll talk about Gauntlet Ascension, because I hope some of the players that play in Gauntlet Ascension are able to watch this, and if they don't watch the part explaining my absence, at least watch things about the Gauntlet project so they can understand where I'm coming from. But that's all to say that those things contributed to my absence. And uploading yesterday's video was the best feeling I felt after a video. Now, I have the content ready, and I'll talk about this when I talk about the, my long-term goals for this channel. I have, some content that is ready to go that is relatively minimal effort in terms of editing, but it was not minimal effort on what happened. It was, some of my gameplay stuff. But it was the first time that I uploaded a video and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to approach this with the mindset is like, this is a new beginning. And for those of you that watched that video and that commented, you guys have no idea how much you guys made my night. And also some of my morning. Just seeing is like, oh, look, Game Scout commented. Oh, Timmy commented. Tetris Time commented. Ramations, people that I've seen in YouTube comments as well as in Twitch chat, come in and comment on it. And it's like, yeah, the views might not be, where it has been in the past, but people are still watching the video. People are watching an achievement. My first ever level 30 and a 1.2, the only surviving footage of that kind of combination of achievement, and people are still watching it. And, they're interacting, they're engaging with it. And that really made my night. And that was, something that I needed to, be able to sit down, not only bolster up the confidence to, come in front of the camera and be like, yeah, I did this wrong. I did that wrong. I did this wrong. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. To, really sit out here and talk with my audience. Those that are left of it, of course, to really sit here and talk with you guys and, just open up. I don't think that I've done this in a public video in recent times. I've always done it in unlisted videos or videos that would linked in a community post because I was like, this isn't something that I felt need to be made public. And I think that I've crossed that personal threshold is like, this is something that I need to, I feel the need to address, and I owe it to, you guys, my viewers, people that continue to subscribe to me on Twitch, or people that are members here on YouTube. I owe it to y'all. So that's been the whole entire ordeal with my absence. Involvement with CTWC, the mental health hurdles, and perfection paralysis, creating a perpetual negative feedback loop, and just me being just on Twitch because it's me. I turn on the CRT, open up OBS, make sure my camera is working, and and start playing. And this is, this perfection paralysis it's always been something that I struggle with, even as a graphic designer, because I want things to be perfect. That's why I can't design for myself, or I really struggle designing things for myself because I don't know what I want. And I know what is in my capabilities, but it's just like, yeah, it's tough. So that's that will conclude the section about my app. Oh my gosh, 18 minutes. Yes, quote unquote, yeah, I've got all my thoughts together. I'm gonna condense it. Nah, dude, I just went on the exact same spiel that I did in the 31-minute recording. But these next two sections should be a little bit shorter. So once again, thank you for bearing with me. We're gonna talk about the Gauntlet project, and I want you guys to understand something. And what really it is that Gauntlet in of itself, I still believe that it can be something. And way back when it started, almost 5 years ago, July 7th, it will be 5 years. When it started way back then, never did I think that Gauntlet would grow to this thing. First it started with King of the Hill, and then now it started with teams and Ignition. And Ignition was a big part of why my absence or my lack of upload consistency started to happen. Because let's look at it this way. And this is, I want to preface this, and I want to be extremely clear. This is not to bash on anyone that offered to volunteer or anyone to help. If you feel like I'm calling you out, or I'm saying that, you should have done this, you should have done that, please don't. you were or are a volunteer. I wasn't paying you anything, or and nor can I afford it at the moment. And I don't have expectations of you to, do everything. You're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, and this is not your fault. But Gauntlet in of itself, when it came to ignition, when it transferred into teams, it was something that was so ambitious. I mean, it's the first time ever that anything like this has been happen. Oh, team names, different graphics system. We're using Max Out Club for restreaming while everyone else was doing traditional restreaming. There was, team logos, team merch, the scheduling with 4 player, your 3v3s, your 4v4s, your 5v5s, your wager systems, your sudden deaths. There was me at the hotel room writing this down on a loose leaf sheet of paper, writing down how to balance this out. There's the spreadsheet that was being maintained. There's all this footage and everything. There was so much that was going on, and it's not something that I could reasonably do all by myself. And for those that helped, especially people like C-Dubs that came in, did the spreadsheet, Pumpy Heart that basically built the foundation of the ignition spreadsheet, helped automate some things. Kibi Byte for helping out with restreaming a good chunk that season. All these things, I still appreciate those volunteers, but in order to make it run, I had to take up the mantle, as it is my event, and I had to do majority of the restreaming, majority of the designing, majority of the video editing, majority of this, majority of that. And it really got to the point to where it's like, there would be times where volunteers' life got busy and they were unable to, do certain things. And it happened for a lot of people. And honestly, I get it. I completely understand. And this is not to guilt trip anyone, like I said. And I completely understand. But as a result, things got held back and got into like this bottleneck. And I was like, well, now I want to do everything myself, because if I do everything myself, I'm the only one to blame. And we'll get into that shortly. And so Gauntlet now, Overdrive, a bit more of a success, $1,000 prize pool, thanks to Park for the merch and whatnot. This is great, right? Well, fast forward to Ascension, and I have the most ambitious idea. I revamped the graphics, like the overlay. It is recognizable, it's clean. It took me 4 hours to build the template, to build up each individual overlay for the regular season. It was all this work, and the biggest thing that came out of it is the jerseys. Now, real quick, and in case they watch this video, they know who they are. I will admit I did make a mistake designing one of the jerseys. And yeah, it is what it is. But I won't be, dare I say, bullied. I won't be bullied into anything. I won't be put into mental anguish because of anything like that. I'm not going to specify. If you want to know, those of you that are close enough to me to know, then you will know. So I'm going to directly compete. But enough about that. I'm sorry. It's something that kind of irritates me, and it's not pleasant. But that's when I was like, I want to do team jerseys. And this is the Grandmaster jersey design, but I replaced it with, Gauntlet Ascension. But I designed jerseys, and I started designing jerseys. I designed, every team jersey, all 10 of them. And it was like, the vision was starting to come true. But remember what I said back in the first section: perfection paralysis. All the highlights, everything. I was like, okay, this needs to be perfect. I need Gauntlet to have, a strong start, so then I can start building, get more people in to watch. The Mino League, I need to be able to build like a foundation for this, that, and this. I need this. I need that. I want it to be like this. This is my vision for this. I want it like this. And I become the bottleneck. Everything that is going wrong with Gauntlet. And this is, there, for those of you that are watching, I haven't been up. There hasn't been too many matches, and that's because there's been some other personal things that I had to take care of, or that I'm trying to figure out a way to take care of. So there hasn't been matches. But when it all comes down to it, anything pertaining to Gauntlet, yes, there might be people that I have on the stats team, the video editing team, the highlighters, the schedulers. Yes, there's all that. But at the end of the day, I'm the bottleneck. Everything that doesn't get done, well, almost everything that doesn't get done, that has to have my say on it, I'm the reason why it doesn't get done. It is my fault that there hasn't been videos uploaded on the VOD channel. It is my fault there hasn't been highlights. It is my fault that there has been a delay in all this stuff. It's been my fault there hasn't been posted to social media. I am the bottleneck. And I can come to terms with that. What I'm trying to do with Gauntlet is so ambitious. I want to bring the esports energy, the team esports energy, to something like classic Tetris. It's something that can work. The narratives that can be built are phenomenal. And, maybe you guys see more content like that on my channel. But this perfection paralysis, this idea that I want my vision for Gauntlet, I want it to be this certain way. I want these videos to have this certain look. It's like, oh, it must have this graphics, these kind of graphics, the animation, this look. I need it to be a certain way. And what does this all cause? What does this all do? I'm the bottleneck. Now, okay, you guys might be thinking I'm being getting a little bit dramatic. I am very passionate, as you can tell. And this is, this is a chance for me to just, straight on explain. This is the problems that I've been dealing with. Gauntlet, on just regular content outside of that. And people are there, and thank you guys so much, production staff. You guys, they're to help. They want to do something. And they're just waiting on me. They're just waiting on me. So this is all to say that the Gauntlet project, it will continue moving forward. I do have some things that I want. I do want it to reach its goal. Playoffs might not be until July, and there's more matches and stuff that have to be, a certain thing. But the biggest thing is I have to sit down over the next couple of weeks, over the next month, and really get things under control. And not be as big of a bottleneck as I am currently. And when that happens, I think that Gauntlet can really, really take off. Now, in addition to the jerseys, I am, this is not to, turn this into like a jersey promo or anything like that, but I am selling jerseys. So for those of you that might come off of like, the classic Tetris videos that are seeing this, obviously I'm selling the Genesis jersey. But in addition to selling the Genesis jersey, so this, I'm going to be selling one in purple and blue. It won't say CCWC Genesis, and I'll post some stuff in the Discord server, which I'll talk about later. But, has name on the back. One of my favorite designs ever for a jersey. So I'll be selling those, as well as other jerseys for the respective teams, if any of you guys were interested in getting one, blah, blah, blah. And there is 2 more jersey designs that are in the work. One for potentially this year's CTWC, and a jersey design in collaboration with Blue Scooty. So stay tuned for that. With that being said, we're almost 30 minutes in. I want to talk real briefly about the long-term goals for my channel. Because where I'm at right now, I want to sit down a year from now. When I'm 25, I want to be able to look back at this video and be like, I remember where I was mentally, physically, financially. I remember how things were. And I can say that I've gotten better. That is the overarching goal, is to be able to come back to this video a year later, when I'm 25. I'm 23 right now. I turned 24 in 2 months. 3 months. To be able to look back at this and say, I'm glad I made that decision to upload that 1.2 level 30 and get out of this negative feedback loop. I'm glad I made that decision. I have some content that is going to be coming out for the rest of the month. It was going to be highlighting some games that I had on stream recently. One of them is going to be a pretty long video, just because it'll be the world record in its fullest glory. Maybe I can actually cut into two. Who knows? We'll see. But what I do eventually want to be, for those of you that watch chess, or more specifically that watch Gotham chess, my goal one day, for however long I'm in this community, is to be the Levy of Tetris, to be able to have, those breakdowns and tell, these stories between these players and everything of this growing scene. I want to be that person. Game Scout has phenomenal videos. Love his stuff. But his videos are so high production, he can't just go over every single player. It's like, yes, this is the story of Garbage Egg 369, or this is the story of Trash Boat 427. You get the point. The level of production that Game Scout has and what he accomplishes is not, he can't be the only one. And it's up to people like me in the scene to, kind of step up and fill areas where Game Scout cannot. And the way that I want to do that is by eventually becoming a Levy of Tetris. And having, daily uploads might be a little bit tough, but outside of daily uploads, be able to upload, highlights, talking about 29 play, talking about this, talking about that. Then I'll, of course, upload, my commentary from the last 10 lines, 18 to 19 to 29, all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to start doing that again, or not start doing that again, because I've never been a Levy of Tetris. But maybe at one point I was close, but I've never been a Levy of Tetris. But I want to start doing that. I want to start becoming that educational person. Because for those of you that watch Levy's interview with Levy asked Hikaru if he think that he could be a GM, and I kind of resonated with him on that part, because a lot of people, they believe that if I put my mind to it, I can be a good roller. But at the moment, I'm just a phenomenal DAS player, in the words of others, and I can do the same kind of level of educational breakdown that Levy does for chess, make people really kind of understand what happens at those higher speeds. That's the goal I have. And right before we end this off, I want to say that thank you all so much for watching. If you're still here, put in your comments #Sharky is back, or #Sharky is here, something like that. Just something that I know that you watched it to the end. If you want to join me on not just this journey to bring back my YouTube channel, but also this journey of my life. I'm young, I'm figuring things out, I'm trying to improve on myself. And if you want to be a part of that journey and, join my community, I'm trying to build a community, not just be a figurehead. If you want to be part of that, then join my personal Discord server, and of course join the Gauntlet Discord server as well. But anyways, thank you all so much for hearing me talk to the camera for 30 minutes and such. It really means a lot, and hopefully this is a change for things to come to the future of this channel for however long I involve in the classic Tetris scene. Anyways, I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll see you in the next video, which is coming very soon.